Imagine packing up everything you know, leaving the U.S. behind, and starting over on the other side of the world. For some, it's a fantasy, and for others, it's a reality.
Just the military in general, you live overseas for so long that when you move back to America, you're a foreigner.
On this episode of The Other Route, I sit down with Markeiz Ryan, a Black content creator who left the life of the United States for a life in Saigon, Vietnam.
A lot of people just look at you like, wow, a Black person, especially people from the countryside, they'll just stop everything. And I understand them now. Wow, he's Black, or wow, he's tall, or wow, he's really muscular. That's the words that they say. They don't say, get out of my country, or, oh my God, we're not safe.
From navigating culture shock and discovering community to redefining what home really means, Markeiz takes us inside his journey of rebuilding life abroad and thriving in a place that most people only dream about visiting.
I felt like I was not a threat to anybody. And it was hard for me to even understand that this whole time I've been condensing myself to not be a threat to random people.
This one's about courage, curiosity, and carving out life on your own terms. Let's get into it with Markeiz. Before we dive in, Markeiz, tell us, who is Markeiz Ryan and what inspires you to start documenting your journey there in Vietnam?
Crazy story. So me, I guess I'm just a veteran, just trying to look and do something and be an ambassador for America for the Vietnamese here. Because, we don't have a lot of good Black role models on TV or the internet for them to really model the entire African-American race too. So that's always been my goal is after I got here, I was like, you know what? My students are always doing these weird memes. It's either the African coffin guys or some rapper. And I was like, okay, what if they had another role model, another resource that they could refer to Black people to? I'm trying to be that. I'm trying to be that ambassador.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's rewind it a little bit because you said I heard you say something about your students and that you're a veteran. What was going on before your life in Vietnam? What made Markeiz say, I'm leaving the United States and I'm moving to Saigon?
Just the military in general, you live overseas for so long that when you move back to America, you're a foreigner. You start thinking about, wow, this is a little smarter in Vietnam, or this is a little better, or things be done this way. And you start getting, it's like a magnet that keeps pulling you back overseas. After Germany, where I had an entire house to myself for $700 a month, in a nice village, totally safe, on this little mountain. I was like, man, this is so much better than spending $2,000 to have a roommate and have crackheads walking past my doors.
Yeah. I live in LA. I know that.
Exactly. We have in Vietnam, we have these cute little animals running by, scuttering past. I cannot compare the two. That's wrong to do, but it's just a better environment. It's safer.
Yeah, I get it. I completely get it. Well, what branch of the military were you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I was Air Force.
Oh, you were in the Air Force. Okay. Were you actually, did you actually?
Flying planes.
Oh, you weren't flying planes.
No, I was not flying my planes. We had a whole bunch of jobs. There's a thing called services. It's just a hodgepodge of a bunch of different jobs put together, basically customer service. But we don't only service the living. We're also servicing the dead. So I'll be a cook, and then at 6 a.m., we got to go to the morgue, and then 12, we got to go back to the morgue. So you're cooking in between morgue shifts.
Oh, man.
Black gloves for bodies, white gloves for food. That was in Germany, but I still love Germany. It was a great place.
So let me ask you, so was it the military that, got you wanting to move, or was there a specific moment that kind of pushed you over the edge? I know you mentioned you were living in this mountain village in Germany, and you were, man, it's better here. I can do it better here. What was the aha moment for you, Markeiz?
Honestly, I got dragged out of the United States. I did not want to leave. I was like, Germany? Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? I don't want to leave America. I was very scared. And I understand why a lot of Americans don't leave, because it's just so foreign to us. But when I did leave, and of course I hated the first month I was there. I was like, the language barrier was horrible. But then the people, man, it's just like the attitudes of the people. I felt like I was not a threat to anybody. And it was hard for me to even understand that this whole time I've been like condensing myself to not be a threat to random people. And the funny thing is, here in Vietnam, the only time I feel like I'm a threat to somebody is when there's like a European tourist that crosses the street instead of walking past me. And I'm wearing nice clothes. I'm like, dang. And then, so I'll have a European tourist cross the street to avoid me. And in the same 20 seconds, you'll have an old lady on the side of the street smile and then say hello to me in Vietnamese. Completely polarizing thing. So there's a lot of, I mean, people recognize me on the street sometimes and will say like, oh, hi, hello. So like, it'll be a little 8-year-old girl like, oh, Ryan Den, Ryan Den. And then a European couple was like, ew, threats, you know? So I think really that's what it was. It was me not feeling like a threat to society anymore and just living like an actual person. Felt great.
My God, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Marquez. Like, I talk to a lot of expats, a lot of black expats, and that is a reoccurring theme right there. I feel like I'm not a threat. I feel like people here don't look at me the same way they look at black people in other westernized countries. It's a different kind of vibe. I can only imagine that. You know, that's interesting. That's one of that was one of the motivators for you. But let me ask you this: like, now moving overseas is no small feat, right? I mean, obviously, like you said before, it's intimidating. You know, people, I don't want to do it. You know, there's visas, there's housing, there's finances, the whole works. What was the process like for you, and what did you learn that you wish you had known a little sooner?
Uh, I mean, first time I got here, I took every L. Like, that's the thing. I was just eating those L's up like Pac-Man. Like I remember I got to the airport, I bought the wrong visa because I bought off a scam website. So I'm just there like illegally, and they're just like, yeah, you got to go to this holding cell real quick.
Did you do that on
Uh,
purpose?
no, I didn't know. It was my birthday too. My friend invited me to Vietnam. It's my first time there. So I'm just there in Hanoi in the airport, locked up. I was looking like Akon. And I got out. It took me like 6 hours to get out after I paid the expedited visa fee, which was like 5 million, but that's only like $200 at the time. So
Oh.
it looked crazy. I was like, oh man, you got that. I got you, homie. And I just gave him the 200 and I was out of there. But yeah, the visas are tough. I mean, if you get it done, I would say the first time you do it through an agency. Yeah, I wish I brought my actual paper degree, my college diploma, because there's a lot of stuff you got to get mailed over to you from America if you don't have it on your person. Like if you want to get a long-term visa, you need to be working there. You need a work permit. And I just completely forgot that. I gave my mom my diploma, so she had to mail me that, and that costs like $100. Anytime you want to mail a parchment, it's like 70 to 100. Um, and just all those little things, like you really do need if you have an employer that's lined up, talk to them about what is everything I need, on hand. But they'll usually hook you up, and it's reasonable. Other things that I was messing up on, just the way how things go here. You need to know what the price of something is before you go to a market and buy it. Because it is a barter country. So they'll be like, yo, 500. And you're like, oh, is that the price? Here's 500. Where really the price could be like 60. It's just a bartering thing. But I have a tip for that. If you have your phone, there's an app called Lazada or even Shopee. But you can scan any item anywhere and it will tell you what the price is online. So then you'll never have to worry about getting that foreigner price. It's like beep bop boom. Like, okay, 50. Okay, I'll give you 50 for it. Boom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool, man. How you kind of caught on to stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, don't talk to them airport. The airport taxis. Do not talk to those men. Get an app, a ride sharing app, already loaded on your phone before you walk out the airport. Do not talk to them. Because, I mean, I feel like the only people that will scam you in Vietnam are the people in the tourist areas. But when you leave the tourist areas, you don't see any of that. Like, you'll get scammed a lot as a tourist for like 2 weeks. But once you get your own apartment and you live the Vietnam expat life, it's just the scams don't happen. The pickpocketing, actually, that doesn't happen much anymore. It used to be bad. But now pickpocketing is done. They were getting me, and I'm a big dude. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I mean, not to cut you off, but I just kind of want to segue into, because you were talking about getting the app, watching out. I remember I went to Istanbul a few years ago to
Oh
Turkey.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I got scammed there pretty big, pretty hardcore. But I look like a sucker walking around. I'm not gonna lie. But I had that word. I had scammy written all over my face. But for you, like, what was it like when you first got there? What was your first few weeks in Vietnam like, and in Saigon? Like, was it more of a culture shock, or was it more of like a culture connection, or did you have to like learn all of these other little small things like watch out for the touristy areas here, watch out for the pickpockets, download this app? What was that
Yeah.
process like?
I came here with friends, so they're kind of just like holding my hand and help me with everything. So I learned all that stuff from them. A lot of tourists they don't have that, so oof, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of communities here. So if you hang out with one black person, you'll find five more black people and then another 10. It is all kind of links up, you know? But I did lose. I mean, of course, you take the L's, but you're having so much fun at the time that you don't even realize that you're taking L's until months after. You know, so you'll get ripped off by like a taxi driver for like triple the price, and then you take the ride with your friend who lives there for a long time, and the price is suddenly like divided by three. You're like, ah, okay, okay, I can't go to this taxi type. I should go to Venus. I should go to the official taxis, not the random people asking me, or not the bike dudes asking me. So, yeah, you gotta learn afterward. Okay, but at the same time, they're never gonna charge you more than what you pay in America. Like when you get scammed, you're still not getting scammed as hard as you were in England, America, Australia. The
Is it
price,
because of the currency?
yeah, and also, I mean, think about it. It's a car and it's gasoline. Like that's what they're charging you for. Why does it cost $60 for like a 15-minute ride in America? I don't know how much Uber costs now, but why does that cost like $50 for a 15-minute ride? But when you're in the same car with the same gasoline, it will cost you $4 in Vietnam. Like why? Like I just rode back home 1:30 a.m. like last night. Sorry, I drank a lot, but I mean it's part of the job. Um, it was like 93K, which is like $3.50. I would never get a 1:30 a.m. taxi at at $3 in the middle of the night. No, and it was like a 20-minute ride. So that scam that I get that I'm complaining about in Vietnam, you're still never gonna get as scammed as you would be in America. You're never gonna get close.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of place I would want to get scammed. Let me ask you this. Let's talk about lifestyle because I heard you kind of talking about you went out last night, you got this cab at 1:30 in the morning, which is pretty cool. And what's a typical day in Saigon like for you now? What's it like there?
Oh my God, it's busy, man.
Yeah.
I came here to relax, and then I got too involved in the community, and now I can't relax in Saigon. The only way I can relax in Saigon is acting like I took a vacation. But generally in the morning, I used to work at night. I used to be a teacher, but then I quit that so I can use my GI Bill to go to a college here at university. I'm gonna get my master's. So in the morning I wake up. Um, yeah, you're pretty much just chilling. I try to do my video editing and I get ready for the gym at noon. I go to the gym, work out maybe like an hour, and then I get out of there and then it's back to a little bit more work, maybe get some filming in. Um, and I have meetings usually in the afternoon for one of the many communities that I'm in. I'm in a lot of communities at this point. And after that, I go and do some kind of event. I promote something or some kind of MC job or anything of that nature. I don't know. It's just a lot of things. It's never the same day, over and over again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's wake up, try to get my own personal stuff done, go to the gym, try to get some more personal stuff done or relax or, play some Street Fighter. I love that game.
Yeah, me too.
And then I go into whatever events or whatever thing I need to do for the evening, and then I pack it up and go back home. Of course, I do schoolwork too in the afternoon. There's a lot of schoolwork with this class, but it's good. I'm learning so much, and honestly, it's great.
It sounds awesome. Is Saigon a pretty you know, kind of modern city? I mean, I'm sure it is. I mean, I'm sure it has like modern transportation and modern, infrastructure and everything else like that, huh?
Infrastructure wise, like the subway just got built. They finally got their first subway and it's only one line, so it's not too convenient yet, but in the future it will be. Um, uh, eh, but you have bikes, the motorcycles. I mean, I drive my motorbike around, or I take a grab car, and you get around really quickly. So it feels like even a bus is just not nearly as convenient as a bike. I mean, your gas is like what, $3 a week, and the bike was like $1,000 if you go high end. It's very affordable, so that everybody has it and everybody's moving. And the roads are kind of small, but everyone's on a bike, so you never feel like you're stopped in traffic. You're always moving. Like if you're moving slow, you're moving slow, but you're always moving forward.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you asked a whole different question about modernity, about how modern it is. But yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
International scene is big here. It's everything you need. I don't lack anything. I don't any snack you want, anything you want, anything you want to do. I don't lack it. It's just maybe the nightlife isn't as robust as Miami, but why do you go to nightlife? You know, there's bars where you meet people. It's not like let's go to the club, man. It's a Ace of Spades or something like that. It's kind of not really that vibe. If you like that, Bali and Thailand are great, but here is more like the chill, laid back, meeting new people instead of just turning up kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, you've shown. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, which are pretty cool, and you've shown your viewers like the vibe out there, what it's like out there, the cost of living out there. How does that compare to life back here in the United States? I know you're talking about it's not the same kind of like nightlife vibe as like a Miami or something like that, but like, what surprised you the most about it? What surprised you the most about the affordability and the quality of life out there in Vietnam versus here in the United States?
I think it's so affordable that you're not really partying, but you're always out. You're always doing nighttime activities, and this city never sleeps. So 2 a.m. people are still walking around, yeah, and it's safe too. So like, I mean, but you're always spending money doing something like having fun, meeting people, or having a late night snack, or maybe there's a karaoke night or there's some kind of event. There's always something happening, but it's not like nightlife, and it's affordable. Like a ticket will be like $1 a half, like $2. It's just you're doing more things because everything is cheaper. People who like a Vietnamese people that move to America, they often move back because they're like, it's too boring here. Like, what do you do after 8 p.m.? Like, what do you do? What are you doing? Like at night at 8 p.m., what is there to do? Here, it's like parks. It's like sports. A lot of people play sports here. It's just a lot of things to do and everything's affordable. So everyone's doing it. A Vietnamese person who makes what, $400 or $500 a month is still going out every day. That like my girlfriend is always out. She's never in her apartment. She's always doing something with her friends, and it's just affordable for even them. So it's even more affordable for us.
And housing is pretty affordable there too. I saw you walking around in your apartment and showing some cool stuff on your YouTube page and stuff like that.
Yeah, this place, people were saying I'm getting ripped off for this place. I just love the view. I'm paying a lot more money than most people do. And I know a lot of the headlines like this man spends $4,000 a month in Vietnam. And I make that much. I don't spend all that. You can't
Right.
spend $4,000 here if you tried. I mean, if you do, you're doing some wild stuff. That's not legal, but you probably need $2,000 tops. Like the rent is $1,000 tops for a single person. If you're living in the best area is probably like down the way you can't see that. Man, brand new city center, luxury,
Yeah.
hot pool, hot. That's just like the perfect location. That's like 1,100 a month, and that is crazy to people. If you want to just do normal, then like 500, 600 a month. If you want to go like ragtag, you can go 300, or you can get a roommate and make it down to 200.
Yeah.
And your job, if you're teaching here in Vietnam, you're making $15 at the minimum, $15 an hour at the minimum. You're getting paid a lot because these people are paying tons of money for English education. And so if each student is paying, I don't know, $3 a class, and you have 15 people, 20 or 25 people in that class, everyone's making money off of that situation. So teachers are going to pay $15 an hour or $20 an hour, and then your housing is $500. It's just, it's very affordable.
Man, every time I talk to an expat and I hear them talk about their cost of living and their affordability where they are now, it makes me like internally kick myself. Like, good Lord. It's so much, like what y'all are paying out there. I pay you like you can't get hardly anything like that out here in like Hollywood or LA or anything like that. So that's pretty interesting, man. That's pretty cool. Let me ask you this. How has the local community received you as a Black American in Vietnam? I know we were talking a little earlier. You said that you don't, excuse me, you don't feel the 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 stares as much, or you don't feel the feeling that you feel like you're a threat or anything else like that. How do you feel out there? I mean, do you feel seen? Do you feel respected? Curious? What's the dynamic really like there on the ground for Black Americans in Saigon or in Vietnam?
Oh, I get stared at a lot. I remember, like, even when I see a black guy out here, I'm just like,
You upstairs?
who's he with? What is he doing here? You really do got to stare at them too. So I catch myself doing the same thing that they do. But in Saigon, like they've seen you before, so they're not like tripping. The younger kids, that's the reason why I started my whole videos thing. Is I said, hey, I'm getting stared at for free. I might as well get stared at for money. A lot of people will just like look at you, like, wow, a black person, especially the people from the countryside. They'll just like stop everything. Um, they're never gonna. I mean, and I understand them now. So usually, if someone's like completely awestruck, it's usually someone from the countryside, and they're just like, "Wow, he's black," or "Wow, he's tall." "Wow, he doesn't have any hair," which is really rare here. Is they all have a lot of hair and sort of get old, or "Wow, he's really muscular." Like that's the words that they say. They don't say "Get out of my country" or "Oh my God, we're not safe." They're always talking about like just wow, he's different, and they assume I can't understand them. But it's never an insult. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if yeah, it's just so. The only way to really get a negative response from Saigon Vietnamese people is by pissing them off. Like, it's so hard to even do that because they're over there. They bump into each other. There's like no, was it, is it space bubble or
Like a personal space bubble. Yeah. Yeah.
personal space? Yeah, they don't have a lot of that.
Right.
So it's still really hard to make these people mad. Uh, and it just never happens. So if you're just chilling, then they're chilling. Yeah, and as someone who can, before I could understand them, I just assumed like the Vietnamese stereotype, which was they talk trash about you all the time. Like in America, at the nail salons, they're like, oh, da 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 da. You think they're talking about your feet or making fun of you, but they just laugh a lot at the wrong times. And when they get embarrassed, they laugh even more. It just seems like they're making fun of you, but if you listen to them, they're talking about some other stuff.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
that's have you connected with like other Black expats out there or locals?
Only one.
Yeah, right, right. So there's like there's a little bit of a sense of belonging out there. How did that work out for you? How did that happen?
There was a lot more black people here before COVID. COVID changed things up here and it made it like the teaching situation kind of weird for people who didn't have the bachelor's degree in English. So pretty much all those people who didn't get a bachelor's degree in English, I was just teaching just off the cuff. Those people, they had to go because they changed the laws. So there was a lot more black people, but now there's less. But even then, like if you see, like even last night, it was my friend J.K. Hobson. He's a big stand-up comedian here. Everybody loves this dude. He's married and he has a kid with a local celebrity, like a French Russian woman that speaks perfect Vietnamese. I don't really see it as like a black community. I feel like all foreigners are kind of just in this one bubble. In the perception of Vietnamese people, they see all foreigners as foreigners. It's not Indians, it's not blacks, it's not whites, it's foreigners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. So if a white dude, like we had a guy in Da Nang he pulled a gun on and robbed a jewelry store, random, I know, a Californian white guy. When that happened, it wasn't like, oh, white guy did it. It was like, no, foreigners did it. If a black person comes to crime, it's not, oh, black people, it's
Foreigners, right.
we're all on the bubble together. So we don't really, I mean, at least I don't have this one monolithic group of black friends where we just like freestyle rap. I mean, of course I have my black friends, and when they do hang out, we're gonna kick some freestyles. We do some fun stuff.
Right.
But it's not like everyone's kind of in diverse groups here. You don't stick to, even like the most Afrocentric group, the Vietnamese people love the Afro What's that music called? Afro something?
Afrobeat.
The
Afrobeat.
Afrobeats. They love the Afro wave. They love that stuff.
You're right.
So even the Afrobeats community can't even stay all black because so many Vietnamese people like want to be in the parties and want to do the thing. So it's you don't have these monolithic groups, or tribes here.
Right.
It's just all gets mixed up heavily.
That is pretty cool. Are they well, let me ask you this first. Are they into American culture? Do they find American? Are
Oh,
they
hell
Yeah.
yeah. American culture is like a virus, man. It's everywhere. I think all these kids that grow up watching Friends, How I Met Your Mother, just to learn English, because that's the easiest way to learn English.
Right.
Disney Channel, they'll know all the references. If you make a reference, they know because this American culture is just so permeated. And along with American culture, you have those funny black people that were in these shows like Disney and Nickelodeon. So they're aware of you. You know what I mean?
Right. They're aware of black culture. They have like an understanding. Do they listen to our music or do they listen?
Oh, yeah. Very
See,
too
well,
much. These students. Oh man. No, everywhere 21 Savage, the times.
they like the YNs. Okay, for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God, you have no idea. And it's insane to even like it was really mind blowing at the time. But you think like a country that went to war with Vietnam,
Right. That's
which
I keep thinking about that. I don't, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
you just gotta forget about it, man. It's like they forgot about it for real. You'll see random Vietnamese men, like older men, just wearing a full on American soldier uniform, riding a bike. You're to say no one's gonna stop them. Just, I mean, but Saigon is like this is where the Americans were based in
Right.
during the war, so they're a lot
Right.
more American friendly. But even if you go to Hanoi, which is the regime that beat us,
Right. Yeah.
it's still got American flags saying like, "Hey, high quality. It's American quality with a big American flag in the back." So
Yeah.
they're not beefing at all. In fact, they're good.
Right. Right. They didn't take that personal. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what they say. I think I said this in one of my videos was that if they were mad at every country that invaded them, they'd be mad at every superpower in the world because every superpower in the world has invaded. You had the French, the British,
French. Yeah.
the Chinese, the Japanese, Americans. I'm not sure if there's Russian aggression, but so many countries invaded them, even in Southeast Asia too, Cambodia, Thailand. If they would have to hate everybody. They'd just be uh, North Korea, basically.
Yeah.
So they picked the right approach of just saying, "Hey, man, the past is the past, but you're not going to get away with that again. We just wanted independence. That's all they wanted." That's pretty much black people the same way.
Yeah.
We're not trying to get revenge on the white folks for slavery. We just want to just chill, just have a good life. Just like, yo, that's it. There's no like we're getting back at them. That's how the Vietnamese are. They're just like, yo, we just want to chill for once.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, that's pretty interesting. And I feel like you've dug in pretty deep in the culture out there. And I've seen some of your videos where you posted about like exploring like a lot of like the local amenities, especially the local food. I'm not like a huge foodie, but like everybody loves to eat. So let me ask you this: like as far as being out there, like what's your favorite go-to Vietnamese dish? Have you mastered any ordering like a local yet, or have you done anything like that yet? Have you really dug into that part of the culture yet?
I mean, I'm like people say I'm fluent in Vietnamese, so
Yeah,
I order anything. I'm actually about to eat. Wait, is this today? Today is Saturday. Say it's Sunday. Okay, I'm about to go eat a frog. Like, what? Yeah.
Oh, you mean like on those videos I be seeing on TikTok of them like eating frogs and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's not normal. Okay, these are not normal. These frogs, snails, these are like kind of like delicacies and snacks to them. But they know that it's plenty to watch a foreigner eat it because we don't play like that. But we're not just eating frogs on a regular. Okay, the best food here, my two favorites is bun thịt nướng, which is like the noodles with what is it? Not roast beef, but grilled beef is really good, and these noodles, it's amazing. And then you have a bonnet or a bonnet.
Yeah, bonnet.
It's like sizzling beef, so good with the sauce and the eggs. It's like the best pre-workout meal ever. The food here is amazing, man. I can give you like 10 dishes.
Right.
Like I have a video of me cooking it. I did a whole job, but I seasoned it. You know what I mean? It tasted good to me.
That's what's up. Is
But
there any like American food places out there? I mean, obviously they have like KFC and McDonald's probably.
yep.
Yeah, they're like,
KFC, McDonald's, Popeyes, we don't go there. I mean, they go there.
yeah,
Yo, if you've seen, you would think the stereotype is about Vietnamese people about this fried chicken. They don't play with it. They pack that out. They pack it. Like I and then of course in my TikToks, I have like I have a lot of followers and stuff, and some of them be trying to like tell jokes. Like, oh, why do black people like fried chicken? I took a video and I was like, these must be black people, right? Like this whole Popeye is loaded to the brim, like no seats, long line. I'm just saying, if there's black people doing that, we would get roasted.
right. Nah,
Vietnamese people love fried
they
chicken.
love fried chicken. Yeah, that's what I.
Any Oh, they got Church's chicken out here, but they changed it to Texas chicken. Really good. Like that's the best chicken out here. Um, Japanese food, Korean food. You can eat a different international dish every day out here. Like
Oh, yeah,
it's good.
yeah,
Like
that's
and it's cheap too.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
sushi for $1 type deal.
Man, I gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how you mentioned that you're kind of fluent in Vietnamese. How is your Vietnamese coming along? Like, and was there like a huge language barrier when you first moved there? How did you get past that?
Oh, I mean, well, the Vietnamese now, I do all my videos, and not all my videos. I have the TikTok where I do all my videos in Vietnamese. That's
Oh
my
man,
entire audience is Vietnamese.
I
So.
saw you mentioned something about Duolingo.
Yeah, don't use that app. It's trash. It's those super Vietnamese, it's not working. They're gonna teach you stuff like fireflies and Ferris wheels or constitution. You're never gonna use that word in real life.
Right.
The best way to go is there's an app called Anki. You basically can just download these vocab packs. You download a pack that says the 500 most used verbs or nouns, and you just download all those words and you get to study the most common words in Vietnamese, and then boom, you could already put sentences together in like a week. Um, and the grammar is so basic. The problem is the pronunciation, because there's so many tones on the vowels. But it's not a impossible language because grammar is so easy. The issue is just pronouncing it and listening to it, which is really hard.
And how did you learn how to do all that? Did you use that app like you're talking about?
Yes, and I went to this college during COVID. There's a college, University of Social Sciences and Humanities, USSH. And I just took that class 2 hours a day every weekday. I was in a classroom with a bunch of Korean and Japanese executives. Like these people did a move from Japan and learn the language as quickly as possible so they could run a factory, because they do a lot of trade with Vietnam. So those guys, they learn really fast. And there's like these expedited classes that I was doing. So I did that for 2 years. And that's what really brought my Vietnamese to the next level. But it still wasn't good enough until I started making Vietnamese college student friends. And we'd meet up like every week. I'd buy them a bunch of nice food. I'm like, hey man, look at all this food. Can you study for free with me? I'm like, I was not being a predator, but I was like, it's the best way to get them to like teach me Vietnamese for free. It's just like, yo, today we're gonna have Italian food. Who wants lasagna? They're like, yeah. And then we just sit at the table and we just talk in Vietnamese, and that's how I was really getting my Vietnamese up, but just talking to people.
That's what's up. Now, I heard you say a lot about people teaching English out there. That seems to be like the pipeline for a lot of
Yeah,
people.
for sure.
They move to another country, they learn to teach, or they teach English there. Was that something that, and I understand is that something that you get at first as well? Is that one of the other ways you kind of learn how to speak the language, or is that a way to learn how to speak the language, or not? Or are you just
Not really.
right?
They don't want you to speak Vietnamese at all. They want, even if you're a Vietnamese person, they actually prefer Black people over Vietnamese Americans because the parents is strange. I know. Because the parents, they'd rather see a complete foreigner than someone that looks like them teaching their kid. Is they're gonna think, oh, if my kid has a problem with the language, they're gonna start speaking Vietnamese to help them. And they want to have 100% English environment for them to learn in. So it is weird reverse racism, but they will usually take a Black person over a Vietnamese American. And it's messed up. And even these Vietnamese teachers that have been studying English for so long and understand the language better than I do. Like they know every tense, they know every rule, they know how to teach pronunciation. They get paid like a fraction of what we get paid, even though these people are good at their jobs and they can teach the grammar way better than we can.
That is
Um,
something else.
it
Yeah.
is strange. It's
Yeah.
very strange. So a lot of foreigners, they say, "Hey, man, if the demand is there, I'm going to take that role."
Yeah.
Sooner or later, I'm pretty sure the Vietnamese people will start paying their own people to teach when they start realizing that these like Russian people are teaching English and they have priority over a Vietnamese person, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It is what it's
Is there a high demand for English teachers out there?
very high.
Wow.
Yes, very high. Like
Interesting.
you could always get a job.
Right.
You could always get
Right.
a job here.
All right. That is awesome. So let me switch gears here real quick. Now one question people always wonder whenever we do one of these shows is what's the dating scene like in these foreign countries? What is it? What is the dating scene like for Black expats in Vietnam? You mentioned that you had a girlfriend out there. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. How is it like out there? I mean, you know.
It changes from city to city. I would say Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, I'd say this is the best for expat men. Just because there's so many colleges in the area and they've all learned English. So you have more options of people who can actually, who even want to interact with foreigners, who even want to speak English with them. And Hanoi is a lot more traditional. It's close, it's the capital near China. And those people, the women there, they want to date Vietnamese men, you know, because there's a lot more rich Vietnamese men there. And it's just more traditional, more cultural. So men will just date more of the female expats there, more likely. Then you have Da Nang, which has it's like the beach city. A lot of tourists go there. So you have a good, better mix of expats, female expat males, but then slightly less Vietnamese females. So then the men will date the expat women, or maybe some will do the Vietnamese women. So it depends on city to city. Um, for men and for women. But it's still good though. I mean, if it's a white guy, I mean, how about this? I met the parents of my ex-girlfriends and they were happy to see me. Like, it wasn't some, I mean, of course, me speaking Vietnamese to them helped, of
Sure.
course.
I'm sure it did.
But
Yeah.
there isn't like this insane stigma like, no, don't do this. They'll see it as, oh, okay, so my girlfriend is my daughter is speaking Vietnamese, is speaking English all the time. She's in a better financial position in the future. She's going to probably like, this guy has a job. This guy has more opportunity. She can get a passport eventually, even though a lot of Vietnamese people don't want to leave Vietnam. I don't know, I could talk to you about that later, but yeah, there wasn't, I thought everyone would be getting angry about it, but every one of my Vietnamese ex girlfriends over the last 6 years have offered, hey, do you want to meet my parents? They're not afraid of it. It's not
Yeah, yeah,
stigmatized.
yeah. So there's it's that. So dating hasn't necessarily been an obstacle for you. Like you haven't
Not
necessarily made.
even me with this space. I can. This is filter. I'm not this good looking. This is with filter.
Me, hey, bro.
But me,
So
yeah, yeah, it's like,
yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
Zoom is a good
All
technology.
right, yeah, man. Zoom got them good. I can say
Good.
I get good filters.
Yeah, they got good filters to give you those good
Yeah,
feet. Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
and even then, even if you, I mean, sure, you should not be walking up to random Vietnamese girls on the street like, "Hey, mommy, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to talk to you." Don't do that. You can go to, we call them like Afro music clubs or black music clubs or hip hop clubs. Go there and they will come to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They will talk to you. Same with Germany. Oh, but Germany is on a different level. I think
yeah,
maybe people told you about that.
yeah.
But in a black music club, people who like you will talk to you. That's where they come to meet black men. There's people that text me after that video I did, and it's like, hey, where can I find like tall black men? Is there anywhere you can help me? I know I have a girlfriend, but can you help me find a tall black man? I'm like, so they will go to places where they know black men will go, and you can meet them there. There's no need for you to be talking to girls at McDonald's or something like that. I mean,
Right,
there's dating apps too, and they will find you. So
right.
dating here is not an issue if you're a black man.
Right. That's pretty cool. Do you find that like cultural differences play a big role in your relationships and in your friendships?
Also, not really. The American culture is so prevalent. Like they know what they're getting into. They know what
Right.
they signed up for. They are excited to be a part of the American culture, or European culture, for the white folks too. Um, they have their Vietnamese culture, and maybe those girls just don't like that dating scene. The vast majority of Vietnamese girls are with Vietnamese men. So we're talking about maybe 10% of Vietnamese women are going for foreigner men, but 10% of 9 million in the city is still a lot of people.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
people. Yeah, exactly.
so the people who choose to be with foreigners have chose that culture as the one that they like. These are usually girls that grew up on Disney, or they grew up thinking really liking what they saw on TV and saying, "Hey, I like this better than my own culture," and then they come over. But they still are Vietnamese cultured. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They don't just completely leave it behind.
Right.
They're still Vietnamese, but they just want to hang out in those different areas.
Right. Absolutely. So let me ask you this, switching gears a little bit. So, like looking back, I would say, what has living abroad taught you about yourself, or even about
Mm.
America? Would you say?
Ah, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Um, hmm. What it's taught me about America is if they cared, I mean, I think this whole capitalism thing, it's it's not what we think it is. This is a communist socialist country,
Hmm.
but the small business here is so booming. Like you can put up your own little coffee stand, food stall. You can build up your own company really quickly, like boom, 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 boom. I mean, these Vietnamese people can, and it's quick. And this communism thing, I don't see it with my eyes. I see it with the governing style because with COVID, they say, hey, everyone stays inside and that's it. That's the end of it. No one's flying out, no one's flying in. That's the end of it. And it got done. And then we weren't even locked down for like 60% of the COVID. We
Right.
were out chilling, because COVID didn't hit us because they controlled it quickly. This freedom that we have in America is actually hurting our actual freedom. Like, I don't know how to even say this. I don't feel a need to vote for anybody because I know the government is doing what's best for Vietnam. On the other side, I feel strange voting for either candidate. Well, I mean, sometimes in America, because I don't know if they have the best interests of America at heart. But I always know that the Vietnamese government has the best for the Vietnamese people at heart. This place is developing so quickly, and they're really pushing forward. Like, hey, we want to be the next Asian superpower. That's their goal. They're doing this with the Vietnamese in mind. Of course, there are flaws, whatever. But in America, I just don't feel that. I feel like they're looking out for Wall Street or they're looking out for these guys. And if you vote for these guys, then you're going to screw over those guys, make them angry. The next voting season, they're going to switch over to these guys. And this,
Yeah, they see it's a big push pull. We just had an election here a couple of days ago. I don't know if you were paying attention, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I think Americans are starting to kind of pull a little bit towards what you're talking about here. Not all of them, but what happened in New York City with the
Right.
election of exactly. He's a kind of self-described socialist, and people maybe have gone to where you are and said, hey, maybe this isn't so bad. So yeah, capitalism is definitely there's winners and losers, and a lot of people don't win. So yeah,
Oh, sorry. One more thing about.
sure, no, please, no, I apologize. I went off our rank. You talk. Yeah.
No, let me rant. Let me rant.
Yeah.
Like the existence of Walmart is not a thing here in Vietnam. There's one place called Mega Marts, and there's these small stores called Vin Marts. Really small though. They're not trying to stamp out competition the way that the monopolies of Vietnam of America are just taking the competition. They say no. Okay, we got this whole block. You can't beat Amazon. You can't beat Walmart. So many mom and pop stores. You never go to chain restaurants here. You never go to chain anything here. Everything is locally owned by families and households. And I feel like that's the capitalism that we all expected in America. I want to do something. This is my talent. I want to be the best at it. But in Vietnam, it doesn't feel like they're just trying to swallow the competition. And that makes it so much better for the customer and for the business people because it's a blue ocean. A blue ocean is when it's so vast, everyone can fish. And then there's a red ocean where it's full of blood and fighting and conflict. America is this red ocean where all the fishermen are trying to hurt each other instead of focusing on the fish. Blue ocean, everyone can get their own fish. Um, I don't know why. I love talking.
Man, no, that was actually pretty profound what you just said right there. I think.
I got that from our professor in business school. Oh, really good.
Yeah, about to say that sounds like some sort of proverb. Yeah.
I
Let's
thought of it, you know?
say no, that is very true. And I've been to different countries before myself, and I can understand the contrast. It's pretty
Right.
stark. Do you ever see yourself moving back to the United States, or is Vietnam your home? It's gonna be your home for the foreseeable future, huh?
I'm here for a while until they kick me out. That's
Yeah.
That's
Right.
all I'm gonna be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
This is, I mean, I like going back. When I went back to DC, it was gorgeous. I didn't realize how pretty it was. Because, I mean, I've been in the military for so long. So even 10 years before I was here, I rarely went back to the States. And it looks way prettier than I remember. So green. The air is so fresh. It's really nice. But I just didn't feel happy and I felt restricted. Like, I was like, hey, I'll take the whole family out. We can go get burritos, you know? We got burritos, 4 burritos, 4 drinks, and it was like $120. I'm like, what am I doing? And what I in America in Vietnam, I'm like, I got the whole table on a regular, and I walk out maybe $30, maybe $20. If that's international food, and that's really expensive here. If you're getting local food like Vietnamese food, I got the whole table could just be like we were eating for 2 hours, and it'll probably hit like $60, $70. That's it. We got a table full of people just munching. And I felt like, how can you be a family collective, a friend group, if everyone's like, I'm going to eat at home and then I'm going to meet up with you guys and I got to leave early. I got to go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning and work all day. And then this is weird, man. I just, the culture is just, it's not, yeah.
it's not
You know,
serving us very well here in the
yeah. I'd like, if you win the rat race, you're still a rat.
Yeah.
You know?
That was another deep one right there.
I got trying to think out here.
Yeah, man. You're definitely those are bars. Those are bars for sure.
I'll make a mixtape.
Yeah, for sure. You should.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this finally here, Markeiz. For anyone who's thinking about taking the other route and moving abroad, what would be your biggest piece of advice before they pack their first suitcase?
I would say first link up with someone, link up with the community before you get out here. You know, have someone to talk to. A lot of people talking to me, man. I'm tired, please. There's a community, there's a black, not even black community. You don't need to do the black community. Just go to the expats and locals in Vietnam. There's a Facebook community. You have every question that you can possibly think of is asked and answered there hundreds of times. Just make sure you're talking to people and you know what you're getting into. But honestly, it's really just getting your passport, making the first step, visiting first, and getting that passive income or something that could hold you over in the beginning before you get stable here. Um, it's tough. I understand it's really tough for people, but what's the alternative? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, once it's done, it sounds like it's something that's actually worth it once you actually go through all the steps and get all the work done. So
And also, there are other countries that are more suited to everyone than Vietnam. Vietnam is not your only choice. This one is probably the toughest. I would say Vietnam is expert level traveler. You know, this is not Thailand. Thailand is easy. Philippines is easy. Philippines, everyone speaks English there for the last 50, 60 years. You know, Thailand is just built for foreigners. And also, they both have really relaxed visa standards. You know, you can get your visa renewed in a mall. It's not like as crazy as Vietnam. So Vietnam isn't the number one choice for travelers. If this is your first country, it's gonna be tough for you. Um, Look at Thailand and Philippines first, and then make your move after that. That's yeah. I would say look at all the countries and what the pros and cons before you move. Don't just pick Vietnam because you saw this video. You know.
sure, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Markeiz, man, I got to say thank you so much for sharing your journey and for telling us about Vietnam and for what it's like for Black expats out there and what it's like to go the other route. I'm going to drop all of your socials here in the video description so that way, anybody who's watching can check you out. I know you're on the ground. I know you're on TikTok. I know you're on a all the other socials, and you got some pretty cool stuff there on YouTube. So yeah.
Yeah. It changes a little bit, but if you type in Markeiz Ryan, my name, then it's gonna pop up. I had to change my name because some weird stuff happened. They tagged the wrong name in there, and now everyone's searching for something that doesn't exist. So I had to change my name a couple times recently. But if you type in Markeiz Ryan, Markeiz, even just that, you don't need my last name, then you'll see my face and you can click it.
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a pretty unique way of spelling your name too. So that definitely works out. For sure. Markeiz Ryan, my brother from Saigon. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your story and for joining us here on The Other Route. I really appreciate it. Talking with Markeiz is a huge reminder that the other route isn't always about taking the straight path. Sometimes it means stepping off the map completely. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who's been thinking about taking that leap. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you can hear more stories like this. Stories from people who are rewriting what's possible when they take the other route.